Hey, so I've been really tired out with my project I've been doing for a long time now, so I feel like making a card game. The project has been very grand and I do want a small break from it, so I thought that I would make a card game because I haven't done one of those in a while. My plan for this is to remake one of my first and favourite games, Donkey Wars, and turn it into something cool. First wanted to get some inspiration for the card game, so I got out all my favourite card games and looked at the things I like, the things I don't like, and the things that wouldn't really fit into the game I want. But then it happened. The big idea that helps you get started with any project. What if I combined my big project and this card project? It was perfect. The rules would stay pretty much the same, but I would add a new type of card, dungeon cards. This comes from the project, the Dungeon Dudes that I'm working on. Now, for the name, I wanted to combine both the Donkey Wars name and the Dungeon Dudes name, which made Donkey Wars Dungeons. Not very unique, but it's the best name that sounds like an actual card game. The other combinations that I had were the Donkey Dudes, the Dungeon Donkeys, and of course the Donkey Wars Dungeon Dudes Extravaganza. But that name was a bit too long. Now, for the card types. For this part, I usually look at drawings I've done and doodles I've done and sketchbooks or pieces of paper that I've got and try to put them into lots of groups. Like, for example, this guy looks a bit evil, so he might be a bad guy. This guy looks like he came from space. This guy looks like a wrestler. This guy he's like an animal. There's many different types of drawings and I put them into separate parts and then try to name them all. So, for example, we've got this guy. This guy looks like he's made of clouds, so he could be part of a sky type. A sky type maybe, or a flying type. And then after you've sorted that, we try to name them so they have original names. Unless you're going for just like simple sky type or flying type. Or I usually try to name them something different for this game. So maybe instead of sky types, we have sky protector types, or flying creature type. Something different rather than just sky or flying. What I ended up with was the Eldritch Forest creatures, Radical creatures, Bloodscape creatures, and Dungeon Diver creatures, which are as a type of job in my story project I'm working on. For the templates, I started just playing about with an editing software called Paint.net that's free, that you can also get. And I started just playing around with shapes, trying to just add circles, add little boxes, and make something that looks a bit like this, like the original card, but upgraded. And in the end, I ended up with 4 different designs. This one, this one, this one, and this one. And this is the one I chose because I think it looks the best with its colours and it looks like a cooler version of this. It's important to get the templates correct, as that's one thing I didn't really like about the Pokemon card game templates, was that the EX and GXs didn't really fit together with the normal cards. I know it's to look more powerful, but I think they should have done something different. Back to the types. I drew all the icons for the types in my sketchbook first to get a rough idea of what I want. Then I went on into my tablet and drew all of the logos and icons for the cards here. So here's the Bloodscape type. Then here's the Dungeon cards. The colors don't really pick up on the camera as well, but here's the Radical cards, the Magic cards, the Eldritch Forest cards, and the Dungeon Diver cards. Then I printed added the icons added all the icons at just a simple Word document at the top corner, and printed all of the full sheet with each of the different types of cards, and I can now start drawing.